away. Call me what you will, but honey, don't you ever stray. And if the sun comes up and there's air to breathe, but still nothing hard has to be. If the moon comes out to compliment the stars, I'll be loving you. Yes, I will, baby. I'm still ticking and busy anytime. Nothing you can do to ever change my mind. Let this world come and let it cease away. See, I'll be loving you. Of your way, I can make it through 1,000 tomorrows. You were here today. Let the times clash on this land of ours. All I will earn tomorrow. It won't matter. I know who you are. I'll be loving you. The sun comes up and there's air to breathe, but still nothing hard has to be. Resolution, baby. The stars, I'll be loving you. I'm still ticking and busting anytime at all. You can do ever change my mind. So let the world come, don't let it cease away. I'll be loving you. The sun comes up and there's air to breathe, but still nothing hard has to be. If the moon out to compliment the stars, I'll be loving you. You were saying if the clock's still ticking, if there's any time, nothing you can do to ever change my mind. Let the world come, some let it cease away. I'll be loving you. I'll be loving you. Yeah, I'll be loving you. I'll be loving you. Out of your way, I can make it through 1,000 tomorrows.
stand up. Sharing, loving, hoping, and working together. Growing, supporting each other through stormy weather. Making leaps and bounds through advocacy. Spreading joy and awareness for all to see. There's no community without you and me. We stand on the shoulders of giants. We build each other up. We expand our networking and resources. We never give up. We stand for what is right. We never go down without a fight. The African proverb says, it takes a village to raise a child. I say, it takes a village to become a community. So community, please stand up. We are waiting.
Two, three, four. I was born by the river in a little tent, and oh, just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too hard to live it, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause who knows what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming. I know, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. And then I go to my brother, and I say, brother, help me please. And he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Whoa, there've been times that I thought, whoa, I would last too long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Oh, yes it will. It's gonna change. It's gonna change. Oh, yes it will. Our partners at BetOnline continue to be the #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Hey, y'all, it's your man Lloyd Spence, and find all the latest odds, news, and sports developments, including NBA Summer League. They killing it right now. NBA trade stuff, Major League Baseball, and the latest fighting news, and even next season's early NFL future. Head to the website and use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. The website, betonline.ag. Just use our promo code, BELIEVE, BLEAV, get the bonus and to get into the action. Believe BetOnline, where the game starts. BetOnline.ag. Hello, your boy, Noise.
Popcorn World.
Popcorn World.
Can I make you groove now? Yes, I can. So you can get this groove in a bag of can. But to make it round the world when it holds in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. 250 flavors. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. It's a popcorn world. It's a popcorn world. What's that saying? Breaking down the rumors and smelling out. Speaking for the people who must go around. Taking truth to power. The whisper and the shout. We're talking noise. Oh yeah, talking noise. Hey yeah, say it again, say we're talking noise. Yeah, talking noise. Really don't have time to fool around. Never noise keeps us lined up. When truth divine, the sound that you hear is a sign of success. We're talking noise. Oh yeah, talking noise. Yeah, picking up all the sound. We're talking noise. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Talking noise. Say it again. We're talking noise.
Welcome to Talkin Noise, the daily podcast that brings you up to speed and keeps you informed about real issues affecting real people. With your host, Mr. Talkin Noise himself, Lloyd Spence. His beautiful wife, Mrs. Noise, Kenyatta Spence. The ever-informed Brother Noise, Alan Brown. And yours cordially, Uncle Noise, Shake Anderson. Come on in and join us as we reveal and opine today's most pressing issues. Real truth while having real fun. Talkin Noise is in your house right now. So sit back and enjoy Talkin Noise.
Last month, not getting hurt.
We branching out tonight.
Making a way when you can.
Mama Noisy, come on.
Good time.
She gonna be all right.
Good time.
Hey, trust her, man.
Good time. Good time. Hey, we lucky we got 'em.
You can't bring your
Good time.
What is going on, good people of Noise Media and beyond? Noise in the building. Guys, let me ask you a question. We're coming in hot tonight. Before we get to the intro and the introduction, we've been working pretty hard over here at Noise Media, and I had to make some adjustments time wise. And I had to order some food tonight. Right? I just had to order food because I ain't had time to cook nothing here at Mama's house. And Grandma ain't, she's not cooking. She's 98. She don't cook no more, whatever. So I just had to order some food. So I ordered from one of my childhood favorite places. Why did Mama Noise right before the air? She gave me the stank eye. She don't never like to try nothing new, cuz. What's that about?
You can't speak because you don't try anything new.
You know what, cuz? I can always count on you to be a nigga.
You said you went back to your childhood. That's what you know.
That's what I know.
Well, you didn't try nothing new either.
Exactly.
I try new stuff all the time, cuz. I just tried something new just yesterday. Breakfast egg rolls. I just told the people about it. It was delicious. Now I'm obsessed.
That ain't risky.
It is here in Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect breakfast egg rolls to be.
You sound like that, Mama. No, that ain't kosher.
What?
Well, it was breakfast egg rolls from a donut place, from an American donut place.
She said it is here in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. It's a.
Well, because you wouldn't expect to find breakfast egg rolls in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. I had never even heard of bread. Have you heard of breakfast egg rolls?
All it is a pastry with some pork sausage in it and some eggs. They might have put some onions and some bell pepper. That's about it.
No. I'm not talking about a breakfast burrito. I'm talking about a breakfast egg roll, a fried, tied up tight egg roll, fried.
With sausage and eggs in it.
Yes, cuz it has sausage and eggs.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what? You are an oak.
It's not like what you get at Panda Express or something. It's authentic. Authentic. Let me see. What was it? Authentic Thai. Authentic.
You can't use the word authentic and egg roll down south.
They are Asian people that made them. It ain't no black people in the kitchen.
Yeah, but them ain't real Asians. Them one day in Pine Bluff.
You think
Wow.
Wait, first of all, you can't say that they not real Asian just because they live in Pine Bluff.
Go to Pine Bluff.
Well, you can't say that's how they feel inside.
You know what, cuz I'm not, first I was gonna let you slide, but I think I'm gonna have to hit you. Because Asians can be anywhere they want to be. Just because they live in Pine Bluff don't mean they're not Asian.
They trying to leave China for oppression. They don't want to go to Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
You trying to say oppression is in Pine Bluff, Arkansas?
You heard what I said, didn't you?
Right, because Mississippi is such a mecca.
Because y'all think I ain't serious about what I'm saying. Let me sit up.
Let me say this. So Mississippi is a mecca of freedom.
Listen, we want.
Yeah, they passed by Mississippi to come to Arkansas.
They clearly passed up Mississippi.
Arkansas from China.
They clearly passed up Mississippi. They probably stopped in Mississippi. They probably stopped in Mississippi. Like, we can't stay here. This is too much like home.
How you gonna pass Mississippi coming from China?
Maybe they came to the U.S. and landed on the East Coast.
West Coast. All Chinese land in California, primarily San Francisco.
Well, they skipped over Texas.
They're not allowed to come to New York? Is that a longer trip?
Why would they fly?
Is that a longer trip?
Why would they fly clear across the United States to go to New York?
Well, here's what you don't know. You really don't know how they got here. They may have lived in another part of the world and then had to fly to New York first.
No, that's true.
That's the point I'm trying to make. You trying to act like you. First of all, you talking to a geography teacher, so let's stop there. Second of all,
you don't go through Arkansas to get to. You don't go through Mississippi to get to Arkansas.
If they came from the East Coast,
if they came from the East Coast, you would. You might. But they might have been checking Mississippi out. They may have heard good things.
They're looking for the cheapest cost of living.
Well, that would be Pine Bluff.
No, it would clearly be Mississippi. But but cost of living and freedom go hand in hand, and they're not gonna find that in Mississippi.
I think there's a big difference between Arkansas and Mississippi. Y'all fooling yourselves. Come on now.
I can't argue that.
Same ninjas, just same.
Y'all got one Deion Sanders in there now. All of a sudden, y'all like
now y'all jazzy.
Same ninjas, just a different zip code. What y'all talking about?
I'm gonna let you slide tonight, cuz I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
What I'm talking about. You ain't even from Arkansas, barely. Hell, I'm from Mississippi. I know what I'm talking about.
I'm more from Arkansas than I am anywhere else in the world. I have two claims of home faith, Arkansas and Kentucky. And I've lived in Texas long enough to where I could probably surpass both of them. But bottom line is,
when they asked your grandmother about crystals,
she ain't gonna co-sign that mess.
I don't have to ask her about that. Let me tell you something. My grandmother, God bless her, at 98, is one of the smartest women I've ever met.
Ask her about crystals versus that White Castle.
The devil is a liar.
Right. I'll have to ask. She's a smart lady. She knows what trash is.
You scared?
Ain't nobody scared.
Why?
So
I'll have to ask her about trash. She know what trash is.
She gonna confirm that crystals is better than White Castle.
Lies.
I'm willing to put money on bet online right now. I'm willing to
bet online, buddy.
Don't do it, man. You know what? Maybe you should do it because we could eat out tomorrow with the money that Cuz gonna have to send us.
Stop it.
Now I'm thinking we might should do it because we could eat out on that money.
I'm in like Flynn. Come on.
Okay, let me get grandma on the line. I'll figure out a way to work this out, and then.
Oh my gosh!
All right. We actually ending the show at 7:45 tonight. I got a meeting at 8. I don't have no choice. But we're gonna have fun while we do it. We're gonna have fun on the way. Where's Al and them at? Al and Ron, are they on way? Are they en route? They're probably en route. Okay. We got a good show tonight. We got a really good show tonight. We're gonna talk about what's normal and abnormal. That's how I talked that Tuesday talk. Shout out to production. They killed the graphics. That was nice. So we got a good show that we're gonna have here with you tonight. I do want to talk about a couple of quick hit things because we like to ease into the topic. We don't just rush you into the topic. We ease into the topic. This is not really a sports conversation that we're about to have. It just involves a sports person. The current quarterback of the Jets. Have you heard about this, cuz?
No, sir.
Zach Wilson?
No, sir.
Okay. Zach is out here in these streets getting street credibility because apparently he knocked off his mama's best friend.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And I want to say the report of this came from the mama. So here's the story. This weekend, Wilson's ex-girlfriend, Abby Guile, defended her relationship with Wilson's friend by claiming the Jets quarterback got with one of his mom's friends. After the rumor went viral, people everywhere went flocking to rip Zach Wilson, which I don't know why you're ripping him because he didn't do nothing wrong. That's how the story went down. And apparently the friend, he said he had relations with, after the photo of his mom friend went viral on the internet, some actually think that Zach actually slept with Dax Milne's mom. You know, Dax is sleeping with Zach's ex-girlfriend, Abby Guile. But Milne's mom is friends with Wilson's mom. For now, she is the main person of interest. So they're trying to figure out who the mom is. They don't know who the mom is, but the rumor is Zach Slater. You say ain't nothing wrong with that?
I don't see no problem with it.
Are you trying to tell me you would have had been given the opportunity back in the day, you would have slayed one of your mom's friends?
First of all, my mama wasn't no hoe.
Well, nobody said. Wait a minute. How do we get to your mama being a hoe?
My mama didn't have me when she was 16.
Dang.
If the boy 25,
Zach Wilson's mama had him when she was 16.
I'm just saying it's probably closer than you think. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I see what you're trying to do there. I don't have a confirmation on Zach Wilson's mama's age.
You need to confirm that.
I need to confirm that.
Because when we were kids, we thought 50 was old, but now that we're 50, we sitting up here looking at 50-year-olds saying, "Damn, girl, you look good." No shit.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
And if she 40 or 45, she probably still holding.
Okay, so Zach Wilson's mom is listed as 49.
There you go. Bingo.
And Zach is 25.
There you go.
Right? No, he's not 25. He can't be 25. He got to be 22. Okay, he's 22. Okay.
Check
you know what?
Easily have a 45-year-old friend. Or 40.
So if he'd have slayed her, it would have been in high school, probably.
Ain't nothing wrong.
Or maybe not.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. She was hot and ready.
But you don't want your friends slaying your kids, do you?
She hadn't started. See, when I got of age, my mama and all her friends was already in menopause.
But you don't want your friends slaying your kids, though, do you?
I mean, if she on the come up, she's doing what she got to do.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, cuz that's kind of creepy.
Man, come on. He wasn't screwing Big Mama. He was screwing 45-year-old mama. See, Big Mama
looked pretty good. The mama
had on that moo-moo. Big Mama had on that apron. He wasn't screwing.
That's true. That's true. It just seems a little creepy, though.
Nah.
That's like Stifler's mom on American Pie. Stifler's mom did look good, though. I don't know, girl. Okay, so that's the male to the female. What about the reverse? Because we got daughters.
I'd kill that nigga.
I concur. I agree. He got to die.
Yourself somewhere else. We ain't got time for that up here.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Isn't that amazing how we have that double standard? Like if it's a guy to a girl, we try to give them high fives. But if it's a girl to a guy, we like, oh nigga, I'm gonna meet you out. When I find you, I'm gonna shoot you.
That's because we understand as men the value of a female. And if an old woman wants to rekindle something, go backwards, that's up to her. She want to be a cougar, that's up to her. But what you can't do, an old man, Mama Lord, don't turn your head like you don't understand what I'm saying. An old man can't be out here knocking down young women.
No, we ain't here for that.
We can't have that.
That's true. I mean, I know. Look. We recognize it's a double standard. We accept it. We embrace it.
Sorry.
And we apologize for it. But we will kill it.
Well, I don't understand why we're not talking about, a lot of these. I mean, we celebrating all these athletes who are getting their NIL and all this success, but yet and still, there needs to be a group of folks that's trying to assist these mamas that are having these sons that are, on the come up so early that these mamas clearly don't have nobody around them that's giving them no wisdom. Just let's start with the what's his name? Like LeBron James's mama got knocked off his teammate. Yeah. It's like, okay, what is happening right now? We need
to. What do you mean what's happening, Mama Noise? You was 45. They still hot. That thing still needs some attention. Come on, y'all. Y'all look at me like we ain't gonna have no real conversation. Then
no,
I'm just saying the players.
No, we good, guys. Come on back. We good.
They're younger. I'm just saying they're younger now, and so it's like the mamas don't understand the rules. You can't be knocking off the coach or knocking off his player friend and all that type of stuff. The man is trying to make some money.
I don't know. This is.
You would admit 45 is still young, Mama knows. That's a young woman.
Well, then ain't no pool away from the actual players and stuff. I'm just.
Yeah, I like I said, I admit the double standard. I truly admit the double standard. And Tara was absent yesterday. So we are in Arkansas, Tara. We're at Grandma Noiz's house, and on our little vacation, work vacation, we're calling it. We're taking care of some business with Grandma. We'll probably be here a little while. You'll see us broadcasting for maybe a couple of weeks here, doing our thing. You know, trying to get some stuff straight here in Arkansas. But we here, we enjoying it. So I gotta be honest with y'all before we go on with the show, because I didn't even open up the show properly, and I apologize for that.
No, you said I'm coming in hot trying to fuss me out about some old banjo, raggedy old.
Well, God bless Big Banjo. Don't even worry about it. You're gonna love it.
Well,
and when you love it, I want you to come on here tomorrow, Thursday, and I need you to apologize immediately.
Then I need you to find me a place with food that's healthy instead of
Oh shit! You need to leave Arkansas right now. Then.
Yeah, ain't no vegan places in
I can't find a grocery store with fresh veggies.
Back your shit up. You need to go out there in the field and get you some good vegetables.
We might do that. We might find a vegetable place. I got you.
Mama knows you can't be in Arkansas and be bougie. What's wrong with you?
You bougie, bro.
Man, I was talking to somebody and I didn't realize how bougie I am until I was like, avocados. They was looking at me like, you eat avocados? Like, what's that? I'm like,
they said I gotta take you to the Rock. I might take you up to the Rock and let you find something.
Okay, baby. I'm like, I can't get no tea down here.
45 miles away?
Yeah, about 35. About 35 minutes, yeah. So I gotta say something that might be wildly unpopular. Black Organist kind of killed it yesterday. I don't know. I don't know.
You trying to replace the man on his day off?
I ain't saying I'm replacing white organists yet. I ain't say that. I'm just saying Black Organist kind of killed it yet. He's back. I'll let y'all hear it for yourself. Go ahead.
Listen, I want to say this before you go any further. Seriously.
Go ahead.
All joking aside.
Go ahead.
Messing with them black organists. Listen, plenty of black musicians that tore up a church and divided the church.
That's true. That's true. I'm glad you said that.
You gotta be careful. They come in there and they play that organ, they make that thing walk down the aisle. Before you know it, they leave and half the church members leave with them.
Okay, you're right. That's a good point. That's something to think about. Go ahead, Black Organist. And I can't even hear him today. What's he doing?
You sure you ain't outside having a cigarette?
Oh, there you go. You know what I'm talking about? Welcome to Talkin NOIZ. We're happy it's your day. So I said inbox Mama Noise. We ready. What you saying, man?
He like them flat keys.
That's enough, Black Boy. That's enough.
You can tell he like them flat keys.
Why you say that?
You know, that's what most black people sing in: A flat, B flat.
Oh yeah, we like the flats. We like the flats now.
Yeah, them a church shoe.
A flat, please. That's what we say, right? E flat, please. Put me in E flat. You know the worst thing is when somebody think they know their key, but they really don't. You find out real quick they don't. And you know how many times? I've gone through that with somebody singing.
Got the organs over there trying to find them on the organ.
And that's why a lot of times when they don't come to a rehearsal, I'll just tell them to start, and I'll just pick it out and figure it out where they are, and just go take it from there. Because I ain't got time for you. You don't know your key. Most of y'all don't even know music.
They just be trying to make themselves look like
they do, right? So, but black organist can play that thing. Though he can make that thing talk too. Now white organist is great too. I ain't gonna take nothing away from white organist. But black organist is right. But now I hadn't thought about what you said, because you made a solid point there.
And it's a valid chance that now. I mean, I'm just saying, don't. I don't like talking. Mama Lord's been giving me all them old crazy look. But there's a valid chance that black organists can either be gay or he a hoe. So you gotta be careful.
You're right. We're gonna have to have a serious interview process.
There you go.
Right, you're right. No, he's right, Mama Noise. You're right.
Don't encourage him.
You're right. You gotta be careful. I just don't want to get half the church slayed down.
There you go.
On either side.
There you go.
On either side. It's really more about that than his preference. Whatever his preference is his preference. What I don't want is to look up and half the church done got slayed down, and we got a line full of counseling sessions going on because I got to explain to them why black organist is the way he is. Good point you just made there, cuz I hate to admit that, but it's the truth. The truth, and that'll set you free. Real quick, before we get into anything else, do we have an update on John Gray? I have not heard anything. Have y'all heard anything?
No, I was looking for some update today. Yeah,
I have not heard anything other than I think that the surgery was supposed to be, if he's okay, the surgery was supposed to be, I think, today. Because they said they had to have it within 24 hours. And so that would be the only thing. And I haven't seen anything on her page. I'm going to check it real quick while we're on the air. For those who may not know, John Gray is in very critical circumstances. And we're just trying to see what his circumstances might ultimately end up being. Is this the latest post?
Y'all so nice to be checking up on old John.
I am checking on him, man. I don't want nothing to happen to brother.
Checking up on John.
Huh?
Y'all nice to be checking up on John.
Well, listen. Despite the things that he may have been. Okay, wait a minute. There is an update. They said the leg clot is gone, and she's praying that the remaining lung clots will dissipate and bow at the name of Jesus. Okay, so she's okay. Okay, all right. We just gotta pray for the brother.
I'm sorry.
The hope is at the name of blood thinners.
You don't think Jesus had any?
Yeah, noise is gonna come for you.
You better put them. You better put them on some blood thinners.
That's actually Talkin NOIZ's pastor, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
That's the pastor.
She like, don't you start.
That's right. I forgot about that. Crazy. I keep my mouth shut. I ain't got nothing.
Okay.
I hope he get better.
Yeah, we hope he gets better. That's the spirit there, cuz. All right.
I don't give two tears in a bucket.
Why we
what? Do you know what death is?
I do. I'm aware of what death is.
Okay.
But
you know what illness is?
Oh, it was a movie quote. I was sitting there saying that sounded like a movie quote. That was Denzel Washington. You don't know what death is. You don't know what death is.
What movie was that?
The Equalizer.
I still don't remember that thing.
The second one with the black boy where he put the gun in his eye.
Oh, yeah. Okay, all right.
Go ahead and pull the trigger because you don't know what.
And you know that because you've seen it 1 million times.
That's right. I am a Huge fan.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, like I said, we got a good show for y'all. It should be a lot of fun. Hope you will enjoy it. We actually have a question that we started on yesterday, and we're going to build on that question today. And the question is very simple. What is normal or what is abnormal? And I don't know how much I'm going to use this as part of the conversation today, but I will say I got a chance to but to see Pastor's sermon today, finally. And the title of the sermon is What's in a Name? What's in a Name? And Pastor Chappelle preached a masterful sermon on Netflix. And what the outcome of the sermon was that they were supposed to name, well, it was the wishes of the person who created the school, the Duke Ellington School of the Arts, that the theater be named after Dave Chappelle. And there was some controversy after his last special, the closer, his last message sermon, the closer. And so Dave thought, after considering, he thought it was prudent that they not name it after him as of yet. He said, now maybe someday we'll get past some of this and you can name it after me. But for now, they're naming it the Freedom of Expression and Artistic Creativity Theater. And you got to go see the whole sermon to truly understand why. But if you're familiar with the controversy, you probably kind of already understand why. But it was interesting because I thought of our show as it relates to why he did what he did. And, you know, this show is really out of the box. Like, there aren't many shows where you have a topic that we have and opinions that we express in a format that, in a platform that allows for such differing opinions. Normally, most podcasts don't stray too far from unified thought process. There's
you don't think our thoughts are unified?
They are in a lot of ways, but there are many times, not many times, maybe many's a stretch, but I'll say it this way, because maybe it's not the thought process that makes us different. Maybe it's the willingness to talk about any and everything, even the most controversial things, that makes us different. Because we're not afraid of topics. We're not afraid of uncomfortable topics. And we're not afraid of disagreeing.
I'm not afraid of topics. One of us in these three boxes is a little shy on topics.
You trying to say Mama Noise is shy? No, she's not shy. She's very strongly opinionated in what she feels. Now I'll say that. She may be a little closed-minded in certain subjects.
I didn't say closed-minded. That's
I can say it. I can say it.
I didn't say closed-minded.
Well, I can say it because I'm married to it.
Okay.
And so we're working on it though. We are working on it. We're working on it. That's an area that we actively work on in our thought process. Because I do need her to not necessarily agree. You don't have to agree with everybody, but you do have to kind of hear what they're saying. And then you may not change your opinion 9 times out of 10. It's probably not going to change your opinion. But at least you say, okay, I at least understand why you feel the way you feel. So anyway, but the message, as well as what we talked about yesterday, kind of solidified what we're talking about now, which is what is normal. Because I think a lot of times what is happening in our society is that we're all being pushed to groupthink. And that to me is challenging, because the way the world should work, in my humble opinion,
is that there should be a base standard of belief for all of us. Like, we're going to be this way towards one another. We're going to be civil. We're going to be respectful. And I'm not saying these are just the hard and fast rules, but I'm just throwing out some stuff. Civil, respectful, honorable, tolerable to some extent of difference of opinion and thought process. I want to say love, but love is such an over cliched concept in our society. But showing love or showing genuine love in the sense of compassion, I think compassion and charity, I think, should be a part of our DNA, our societal DNA. And I think there's some general belief or centering around what is not good for us societally that we should be able to come to an agreement on. But the challenge of that is what I just said, coming to an agreement on. How do we do it? How does it work? And who gets to make the final decision of what it is? And I think, and see, now Anthony Bruce saying, see, everything you're saying is new thinking. Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't feel like it is, because I feel like that's what we used to have. We used to have a kind of a more, I don't say universal, but I felt like we used to kind of have more of a unified. I don't know. Y'all tell me. I guess the reason why I bring all this up is because I don't know what's normal anymore, and I don't really know what's abnormal anymore. The lines are so blurred that I don't know the difference between the two anymore. As the second half of Sliding Missionary Baptist Church has arrived, and then
you say second half or better half?
I'll let y'all decide that part.
Well, we rotated, so Tuesday. Well, I came late today. He came late yesterday. So
touche.
Keep it going right.
Kyrie,
what's going on, Mama Noise?
Trying to get some fruits and vegetables in this camp.
Can you stay focused to the topic right now? We'll talk about fruits and vegetables later, okay?
Well, I mean, he said, "What's up?" And so that was my.
That's not what's up, though. But that's not what's up.
Well, I'm just saying.
You in Arkansas, you walk outside for picking shit off trees. I mean, there's fruits and vegetables everywhere.
I said avocados and got the stank face. I'm saying I like avocados. Is it my fault we don't grow here?
You're in Mexico.
Yeah, you in the wrong part of the country for some avocado.
Can we stay focused to the topic, Mama Noise, please?
Why you blaming me? Why you ain't fussing out Kyrie?
Because you started it.
He asked me how I was doing.
And that was the mistake. You're right. So Kyrie, you started. Shame on you.
I'm gonna say this about the topic at hand.
Right.
I don't know about want to go a little rocky. Might get. Oh no,
damn.
Squirrel.
You know what?
Nope, he just answered from the chat.
Listen, what's normal? That's a very interesting topic, because I think I said yesterday, normal is ever changing in society.
Right.
What society finds acceptable is ever changing. Unless you live in some country that's dictated by one or two people, where the masses can't change, they're pretty much dictated as to how they will behave, i.e. Saudi Arabia, Iran, North Korea. But if you're in a free society, what's normal changes. It even changes in church. There was a time when in church divorce was frowned upon. Now more pastors getting divorced than you can shake a stick at.
True.
Even the preachers get divorces. So normal is ever changing.
Normal. You know, when I think of the word normal, I think of back when I had a miscarriage, and I didn't understand why when that happened, you know, for me being in a leadership role in the church, you know, I was thinking, okay, you know, it's going to be other women that's going to step up and say, this has happened to me. You know, I can relate or something like that. And that's not what happened. And then I understood that it was a taboo. Like you said, divorce was. And it was a taboo where, like, in other words, if we did have it happen, we ain't saying nothing. And I was like, Dad, I'm going to be the one that breaks the mold and say, if we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. And then I discovered that there were 2 other women that were having them at the same time. So it was like, oh my gosh, what if I just sat up there and just stayed quiet about it? I needed to talk about it, not only for my own personal healing and my own personal mental health, but because there were other women right there in the congregation that were suffering from the same thing. But it's not normal to have those conversations.
Well, I don't know what kind of old jack bootleg church you went to, but
oh my.
Damn, Jack Boot. Whoosh.
Well, listen, we all can't have great churches like Slide In. That's just not
most. I would say this about that topic, and I could be wrong to swole left shoes. Most women that go through miscarriages, it's a delicate subject, but not necessarily a taboo subject. And most people are afraid of delicate conversations because they don't want to offend. They don't want to bring back up that in which that you're trying to move on from. Because I don't know why it would be taboo in the church. It's not like it's a sin. It's not like it's an abomination. Women have always had miscarriages.
Yes, we have, but we look. It's no different than. Okay, I'm reaching in the reaching with this one, but it's no different than having a marriage class and you don't talk about anal sex.
I got it, guys. I'm sorry, I got it.
Damn.
Then you got people sending quiet messages saying, hey, does God have a problem with anal sex? I just want to ask on a low. Why are we doing that? Talk about whatever it is you want to talk about so we can get it put out there in the open and then get understanding.
Oh my God.
Which, by the way, is the reaction of hearing an anal sex conversation in church and the actual act itself.
Just saying, let's talk. We gonna talk, let's talk. If we all in the room, we all married and we all talking about married stuff or whatever, let's talk. Sometimes, even with the singles, they need to know what the deal is. What is it that, you know, or whatever, this or that. They need to get the understanding. So why are we keeping it such a cryptic secret?
But, okay, and I don't disagree with what you're saying. I guess the challenge I'm having with the conversation is that what are we considering? So is openness now the new normal? Is transparency now the new normal?
Perhaps.
Listen, I believe in openness. I believe in openness. I believe you can bless others through openness. And I believe that we carry too much shame and too much guilt. We hold on to that way too much in our lives. And it doesn't do us any good. It's not doing us any good, and it's not blessing anybody else what you've gone through. So I do believe in openness. But what I don't want to discuss is you up in there pounding fudge and shit. That I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about that.
Oh my goodness.
Now shit.
I don't know what just happened.
Look, I'm saying the reason why I brought that up is because in the marriage class, There were married people, been married for a long time, and they've said, like in other words, as a Christian woman, good girls don't. And so, but yet their husbands is like, why don't they? And so here we are, just trying to sugarfoot around the question, and we just need to go ahead and talk about it.
Andy Bruce said in the last 100 years, people just started feeling like other groups may be humans and deserving of respect. When we're talking about miscarriages, Tara said it's taboo because women often feel.
Yeah.
Mama knows I got it.
Okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead and read it.
Women often feel or are made to feel like they did something that caused the miscarriage. I'm sorry. I wasn't going to be read with laughter. I apologize. It says, which is why it's not talked about, because after everything else you've been through, no one wants to hear that ish. Talking about miscarriage or whatever. It said, we accept gay ties and gay taxes, but we don't want to hear gay stories. Sadly, sounds about right. No, that's true.
Well, and then you saying, well, that women that have miscarriages, it happens. So I understand what's the big deal. It's not like it's a sin. However, like we learned from one day we'll talk about the sermon from Creflo Dollar on the show about what he had to say here recently that really threw the whole church into a tailspin. But that's a whole nother conversation. Is that when he said that like for instance the miscarriage is taught that it's something you did.
Oh wow.
And that's why we don't talk about it, because they like
well, but I don't want to just get fixated on this one topic that
I'm just saying for me.
I got you, but I want to expand it out because we're talking about what's normal, and you're right, but I want to expand it out. The reality is, traditionally, we have not liked to talk about anything that we thought was private. And I don't know necessarily if there is anything wrong with that in totality, because some things are supposed to be private. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
Yeah, some things are supposed to be private. I don't know if I need to know everything that's going on in your bedroom. I don't know if I need to know that.
No.
Well, it's kind of that's different, but I don't need to know. It's not I have to.
But it's kind of a double-edged sword for Black people, unfortunately, because we're taught not to talk about anything, so we keep stuff quiet. We keep all the stuff
right.
So because we're so scared to open up and talk about stuff, we keep all those demons, all that skeletons left in the closet, so we never resolve the issues that we got to deal with. So we just keep passing them on generation to generation to generation. So it's good and bad. We need the openness in order for those people to heal, but we're too proud to talk about that stuff.
Which makes for what is normal a very interesting topic, because normal, it goes back to what Jay said, it's only as normal as our willingness to accept its normality. So if we're not willing to talk about it, it can't be normalized, right? It can't be normalized. We're not going to talk about this particular subject. Then we can't normalize it. You know what? I think I've talked about this on the show before, but like in the 90s, it was the first place I really started hearing about oral sex was on Def Comedy Jam. I had not heard about it talked so openly. Now you would hear private conversations, very in the dark, or we're not going, but openly talking about it was Def Comedy Jam. And to some degree, I think that show went a long way in normalizing it especially within the Black community, because we didn't talk about it. Now it was probably being done. We didn't talk about it openly. It was frowned upon, and good girls and good and gentlemen and don't do that, even though they was completely doing that.
Well, it's under that the words what goes on in this house stays in this house.
And that goes back to what Ron is saying about the danger of that, because when you normalize all of it can be done in the dark, and all of it ain't good in the dark.
That's right.
And that's the problem. Our normal became not talking about it. Not talking about it was the normal. So you didn't see nothing wrong with it. Because it was normal for you not to talk about what's done in the dark.
Well, and the truth of that, Ron, is that now it's only now that we realize that some of the things we call normal were actually abnormal.
Right.
But they're only abnormal based on today's standards.
Right.
Toxic.
Right. Now we call it toxic, or we call it, trauma.
Yeah.
Which it probably was all the time, but we just didn't call it that.
Man.
It was just grandpa. Grandpa's
We didn't talk about why we got so many uncles. You like, why is everybody called uncle? Is everybody your brother?
No, we talked about it. We just didn't want to hear the truth.
Well,
I mean, nobody wanted to say that their mama was.
I'm just saying.
Not my mama. Wow. This is fascinating. This is really fascinating. Let me ask this question to you guys. What is the compass for normality?
The compass for normality.
What is the compass? Because it used to be, to Jay's earlier point, the church. And now I don't know if I can pretty much say that's not true anymore. But what is today's compass? Is it social media?
Well, your compass should be your circle, your family. That should be your true north. If a healthy whole family is functioning properly, then that should be your compass. We raise kids up so that they will leave home. And one of the things that most black parents, for sure, maybe Wahites now, don't forget now, when you leave home, you're representing home. But you take your ass out there to act no fool, like you ain't got no home training.
Home training, yes.
That's a part of the compass that we believe that we are pouring into our kids. But they will function outside of the home as they function in the home. The problem is the home is broken, so the compass, therefore, is broken.
But I also think that the home is broken, but that message isn't out there anymore. Don't leave out this house.
It's out there. It's just not. It's just.
I don't hear parents, and I've heard a lot of, I see a lot of young parents. I don't hear them telling their kids, "Don't go out of here like you don't have a home training." That's standard.
Shit, you jacked up.
I'm just telling you. My job, see a lot of young people coming in, a lot of young parents. You don't hear that. Even when they talk to their kids, you don't hear that. Don't go out of this house like you ain't got no home training. I mean, it's just not a standard that's out there.
Listen, I'm telling you, I starting to hear myself when I hear what y'all saying. I'm saying that, listen here, I have failed as a parent. If you come, if you go out of this house and do X, Y, Z, because I feel like I've trained you. I feel like daddy's trained you, and I feel like we collectively have trained you, and that you should know better. Like when we go over other people's house, when I was a kid, if you went over other people's house and you was playing with their kids and toys and stuff like that, you didn't get your tail up and just walk out of the house when the parents was getting ready to leave. You stayed and cleaned up those toys. You strolled all the toys off, playing whatever. You helped them clean up because that was your role in, playing with the other person. Because kids nowadays be like, "Oh, my mama calling, see you later," and then you done sat there and played and left all these toys every which way, and you don't feel no obligation that you need to go in there and clean up.
Or if you sit your ass down to the table at somebody else's house and you eat the food and you get up and walk away from the table and leave your plate on the table,
Fact.
You got maid service. You better get your black ass back in here and get your plate up off this table and at least put it in the sink, if not wash it.
That's right. That's right.
And the worst one of them all, walk into your house and do not speak to everybody that's in the house.
You damn sure ain't got no home training.
Listen.
So I gotta ask this question, Mama. I gotta ask this question. So is it a failure? Did our parents fail us based on some of the choices we made?
What?
Because I hear y'all talking about the general guidance things and speaking, and pick up your plate. I get the general stuff. But the home training expanded beyond just speaking to people when you come to their house.
Yeah.
There were other choices that we personally made that probably were not in alignment with the home training that we got.
It wasn't in line with the home training, but it wasn't that your parents failed. You're going to make choices to do stuff that your parents, it has nothing to do with your parents. You made a conscious decision to try to do something. That's part of being immature. It's part of being an adolescent. That's part of being a child, part of being a kid.
But that also speaks to parenting, that every moment is a teachable moment.
Amen. I mean, yes.
If identified as such. Because a lot of times I think we fail to realize, rather than hard discipline, you can give discipline, but also this is a teachable moment. Because if you because a lot of times we got an ass whooping without an explanation.
Facts.
And sometimes you need not even sometimes. I think to keep from getting perpetual ass whooping, you need the explanation. You need to know why I'm doing this. Why are you getting this punishment? Why am I beating you senseless? I'm beating you because you did this thing that could result into this other thing if we don't correct it. And I don't know if that is always the case with how we're dealing with societal things. So then, without the explanation, the act itself becomes normalized. So we say societally, like Tara saying at a small age, well, little Timmy's just being a boy. He's climbing the drapes and he's just being a boy. And he's running all over the store because he's just being a boy. And we normalize what really is bad behavior.
Facts.
That right now, I ain't never need anybody to explain to me why I would get my ass whooped.
You didn't need that, okay?
Hell no. I'm trying to get the ass whooping over with. Don't sit there and explain to me why you whooping my ass. I knew what I did.
Well, I mean,
if you walked to the store and you stole something, you got caught, you went home, you got ass whooping. What explanation do you need to know that you get your ass whooping for because you got caught?
And that is true. I guess I'm talking about some of the more.
Then if you're getting a beating for something that your dad just came in and he thought about some shit 4 months ago that you did, yeah. But if you're getting held accountable at the time you're doing what you're doing, not another explanation that you really need. What we end up running into a lot of times where a lot of the, I hate to say older parents, will help justify why my grandson did X. Don't do that. My grandson, he's not that type of kid. He don't do that stuff. So the accountability start to go away.
Kind of like what Tara's saying. Yeah, kind of like what she's saying. Some of us decide not to discipline our kids.
Well, but I also co-sign with Anthony Bruce because I used to get the whole story while getting whooped.
That's too long. It's too long. Too much talking.
You like us? Y'all don't be making me look bad in front of these white people. Wow.
Yeah, but it's hard to hear over those beatings, though.
I'm just saying, what you want me to do? What? Please don't ask me to repeat.
I tell you not to go over Miss Johnson's house.
Okay. Right.
I think I hear what you're trying to communicate to me, but boy, this pain is really kicking in.
Facts. I can't recall anything you said.
The only, in my opinion, the only way you get a whooping, we used to call them beatings because we weren't really getting whooping. The only way that happens without an explanation is if the parent is too angry to explain, to sit down and talk to you. You know, a lot of whoopings happen because the parents, it's a split moment thing. The parent is angry.
Yeah.
Right.
They end up really beating your ass because of the anger. But if you're really trying to teach, you will always talk, I believe.
And usually you got talked to before you even got your ass whooping. They was explaining before you got home.
Yeah, but
what you did wrong.
But you know, parenting is like being a tape recorder. You just constantly rewind, saying the same shit over and over and over.
Yeah. But and again, you knew what you did. Every kid knew exactly what they did prior to them getting that ass whooped. And
we knew what we did, but I don't think we knew the extent of what the consequences could be if we didn't correct the action.
Right.
Which is why a lot of kids, sometimes listen, for some kids that ass whooping worked. It corrected all the ills. We was like, and we figured we connected consequences to it because we said, this is enough consequence for me to stop doing this thing. Now, some kids never connected all the dots.
Yeah.
So it didn't have as much effect, and they still, went ahead and did whatever they did.
And that's true. I can name several people like that.
Right.
But as they got older, when you hit a certain age, you know.
No, I agree with that. You
know right from wrong. You know what you're doing is either good or bad. Now, the ass whooping may not have helped you, but damn it, the older you get, the consequences are a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah, that's because oftentimes we saw ass whoopings in those environments, but we also saw dysfunction that we knew wasn't right either. So it's really hard to discipline me when I know your shit ain't right either.
That's true too. That's very true. That's very true.
You live a life in order to be able to discipline people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So okay, so let's stay there for a moment because this is good. The normalizing of the way we were disciplined or the lack of discipline has played a tremendous role in how we have approached our societal not society, that's not the word I'm looking for. How we have unfolded or unveiled our personal development. So, for example, we know people who didn't get the whoopings. And because they didn't get the whoopings, they became whatever. They became this or they became that. And that lack of early discipline unfolded into whatever this behavior was. Like you said, cuz they never got the understanding. Let me be more specific in my example. Not having a father in your life to raise you or to set a proper example for you is either going to have 1 to 2 effects on you. It's either going to drive you to become a better father if you are a man, or it's going to make you mirror the behavior if you are a man. Now, same thing for a female. It's either going to drive you to not look for a man like that, or it's going to drive you to look for the replacement of that man in somebody else. And so we've kind of normalized all of that like it's okay. When the truth of the matter is, it's not okay.
But kind of back to what Cuz said as well, you could have that father in the home, and yet you still saw that dysfunction.
Well, I don't want to get caught in the specifics of that as much as I'm saying both, because your example is spot on. Yeah, you're spot on with your example. I'm saying whatever the example is, good, bad, negative, whatever, it becomes this is what we are. Because here's the stigma that's placed on black men now. Black men ain't no good. Black men don't protect black women. Black men aren't staying with black women. My wife truly believes right now that successful NBA black men are leaving, or sports black men are leaving black women and going to black and white women. She believes that with her whole heart. This ain't just conversation for her. She is embraced this reality.
It's like any other race, just not black.
But it's not true. It's an improper narrative. But you can't convince a lot of these black women that it's not.
I can see it.
You're seeing some. You're not seeing all.
Listen to this. Community is extremely important in our lives. that which we see is more often what we believe. That which is said to us doesn't necessarily hold water with us. You can talk to me and tell me what I can be, but if I don't see anybody else being that, then I don't believe it's really possible.
That's also true. Yeah.
A lot of us, and we said it on this show, the Cosby's was a great show, but a lot of people couldn't relate to the Cosby's because they had never seen it. So if I've never seen a healthy household, then how do I know to go for the healthy household? If I've never seen a man treat a woman right, then how do I know that I'm supposed to have that?
Well, I'm going to tell you, in education, whenever there's been a problem, it's always get the mother. There's never anyone that says, let's talk to the child's father. It's always the mother that shows up, and it's never the father that shows up and says, well, let's talk about Johnny's behavior or whatever, or let me know what's going on in the classroom. I'll take care of it. There's not a representation of the man in education when it comes to these kids. I'm telling you, the last time I was in the front office and a black man showed up, he showed up in some SpongeBob pajamas in the office. And you like, oh, damn.
Well, I mean, I had a black teacher when I was coming up in middle school and high school, but the black teachers I knew was knocking down the teenage girls.
Oh, damn. Thank you for that.
I didn't lie.
What does that have to do with the man showing up to represent?
What I'm saying is he may be there, but he may be dysfunctional in his presence.
But I think it's also bad, Mama Noise, because we said a lot of black fathers don't show up to the school. I mean, that is true, but it's also it's a balance, because again, it's a lot of times you work a lot, you don't have the time. So he's got to pick his poison on, hey, I got to make this living. You know, mom has the better opportunity. Mom has a better option of getting over to get to the kid, to deal with him at the school. So it's not that he may not be involved. I mean, he may not be the one coming to the school every single day or every time Johnny screws up. It might be more of the mom, because she has more of the opportunity to get there. But I'm pretty sure if dad's at home, mom done told him what the hell little dumbass Johnny did, and there's a different type of conversation. The representation in the school, I could go both ways on it. I'm good if they show, I'm good they don't. As long as that person's getting that discipline when he gets home, or that accountability. But I think the school system kind of puts a bad stigma that, black fathers are not involved, or they don't want to be there. And I don't think that's the case as much.
But I hear you, Kyrie, but I'm saying I'm not saying specifically black men. I'm saying men. Men, period. My little Hispanic babies, they daddy ain't there. My little Caucasian babies, they daddy ain't showing up.
Listen,
it's all mamas showing up for everything.
The Hispanic daddy, they can't be there. They on top of a roof somewhere.
Wait, because I know it's coming.
They don't have time to go down to that damn school.
But please believe, you said they don't got time. I remember I was in the grocery store, and then Jesus' daddy was walking down the aisle, and I said, "Oh, hey, Jesus," and he's looking at me like a deer in headlights. And his father said, "Pequeño español," and I said,
"Man, that was racist."
Just
until I'm finished what I'm saying. And so wait a minute. So I said, "Pequeño español," and he said, "Okay." He said, I said, "You want to know?" His wife said she wants to know how he's doing in class between 1 and 10. I said to myself, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. His mother said, that sounds about right. So and he's looking at his son like, so you messing up in the class. And I'm going, listen, his behavior is a 5 out of 10. Oh, damn.
Okay, Mama Noise. That was a lot.
And that you right, Anthony Bruce. He looked at me like, please, Mrs. Spence, don't say that to my dad. And I said, Dad, your little tail is in the class. I'm for sure finna do some Dora the Explorer translation of some way to help you to understand that your child needs some discipline.
Dora the Explorer. Yeah, you get the button for Dora Explorer.
Yeah, I'm trying. Mama Noise. Geez.
If I don't know a lot of Spanish, I'm gonna do the best I can to vámonos.
Just on credit.
I'm just what? What am I supposed to do?
Not be racist. That's the part.
No, because see, a lot of them little kids, they know they the only one that speaks English in their house. So then when the teacher talks to them, they want to look like, I'm going to translate all good stuff. No, your little tail is ratchet, and I don't hear you saying that.
You got the baby apologizing.
That dog is cover your shit.
No, but look, you can say for Spanish-speaking countries, but there's something. We can go toe to toe with some Nigerians as well.
What are you doing?
I'm saying it doesn't matter what race. There is some children that need discipline, no matter what it is, and then they sometimes use their foreign language.
Okay. Let me just stop before we get taken off the air.
So, what? Hey, Princess Noise, can you put that apology in Spanish? Can you type it?
Right, type it in Spanish. What I get what you're trying to say, but what I'm trying to say to you is, I don't think it's. I agree with Kyrie in that it's not as simple as they're not necessarily active. I think it's more so, and I'm not trying to be talk about one. There's a gender equity problem, payment equity problem in our country. So 9 times out of 10 in a lot of these households, the male is probably making a little bit more. And so he feels that pressure of carrying the financial burden of his home. So leaving for some emergency thing is not necessarily as financially prudent as it would be for his wife to do in a lot of those homes. So that's why we end up in those situations. Yes, one thing about our show, we do try to offend all the way across the board. We don't.
If you offend everybody, you can't be called
right. It's hard to be considered racist.
I'm trying to help you to understand. We've dealt with children with different ethnicities, and they know me. The one lady calls me her sister, and I said, "Okay, well, let's talk about your son."
Okay, please don't keep repeating it because you're killing us right now. What I want to say is this: I understand what you're, I think, attempting to say in theory, Mama Noise, that we do.
Heck, she done put Spanish in the chat.
That's so funny. I understand in theory what you're attempting to try to say. I guess the challenge that I'm having with what you're saying is that that's part of, I think, the bigger problem. She gonna put it
in Nigerian
as well as Nigerian. Thank you, baby. Moderator of the year, right there. She's covering all her bases. I'm challenged by the normality of what you're saying. That it's okay, that we've made it okay that fathers are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I don't think, because Cuz says it's a lot as well. The percentages are high. I don't really honestly believe that it's high. I do believe that there are a lot of absent fathers.
Okay.
But my challenge is high. The word is high.
Well, let me ask a question. Fathers, do you feel like that's not your responsibility? To go up to the as fathers, do you feel like
I think we dwell too much on that specific thing when the answer to that is, to me, is no. I do think it's all of our responsibility. It's up to the parents to be present all the way across the board. Now, present, though, doesn't necessarily just mean that he goes up to the school during the day, during his work hours, because it could be you have open house opportunities. You can have email presence. You can have, there's ways to do it and figure out how to be in that moment. Now, but then some days you got to take off work. And by the way, if a child, child that may listen to this, if I got to take off work to go take care of some issue done, it's a bad situation for you.
Accountability.
So for me, I was highly offended, to be perfectly honest with you. I've always been deeply involved in my daughter's life. And I was the parent that registered for her for school and went up to the school, and I put my name on the contact list and the emergency contact list, and inevitably the phone would ring, but it would ring to my wife's phone and not my phone.
Because of the conditioning.
The schoolhouse would still call my wife and not call me. And I take my deep, dark chocolate ass, right on back up there at school and say, don't you call my wife no more. I'm the contact person for my daughter. Call me. But they're so used to mothers being involved that they don't really give daddies a chance to be involved.
And just like cuz my name is on all the paperwork, they know how to get in touch with me. If I didn't show up, they will call my cell phone. They email. They knew if they called me, shit was gonna happen. But my kids also knew I don't want him calling.
Do kids get to choose?
Their behavior determines what they're going to do. If I F up, this type of shit gets mama called. This type of stuff gets dad called. I ain't going to that level. Because that's not the ass whooping that you want.
My mother used to tell us all the time, if those white people call me on my job and I have to come up to this school because you up here acting a fool, I'm going to whoop you right in front of these people. And that was burned in my mind, so I never wanted to have my behind whooped in front of the people at my school.
Well, but see, Kieta, I was the primary for us, but that was circumstantial as well. It wasn't just that I wanted to be, because I did want to be, but also I had the more flexible circumstances.
Yeah, I worked on on the other side of Dallas, whereas you was over on this side of the Metroplex, and it would be easier for you to be able to get to the school. However, when your 6'4" tail showed up at the school, they ready to call security.
Here's the problem.
And I'm not just talking about the discipline part of the school. I used to volunteer a lot at my daughter's school when she was in elementary and middle school.
What you volunteer to?
Sorry?
What you volunteer to do?
Don't worry about it. I used to volunteer up there all the time. And still, when volunteers were needed, they would still call my wife from time to time. And it's like, no, you don't understand. I'm the volunteer parent. Yeah. But that was circumstantial too, because my wife is not flexible at all with her schedule. So I had to be there. And I wanted to be there.
But to your point, they didn't call you because of what we've done normalizing fathers ain't shit, which is not fair, because there are some fathers who are trying to do this thing the right way. And so to lump us all in the same category.
Listen, we all have to recognize as good men that we suffer because of bad men.
That's very true.
And we can't walk around here pretending that the bad don't exist, or that the bad is a very small, minute, myopic number. That's bullshit.
I'm not saying this. Hold on, Jay. I didn't say it was myopic, which is a really nice word that you used there. That was really good. Very impressive.
It's a Texas education.
Well, no, it was definitely Texas, because he didn't learn that in Mississippi, or maybe got it in the ARMY. what they not doing is using myopic in Mississippi. But I agree with you that there's the percentages are higher than they should be. But to say there's only 20% great fathers, I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
I don't think anybody's out there saying that percentage.
But that's how it feels, though. That's how it feels, though.
What we do need to tell the truth is that the number is way too freaking high.
Well, yeah. Listen, that's inarguable. I agree with that. That's
stop getting offended by why do so many black men get offended by it?
But the ones that are offended are the same. We're offended for the same reason you was offended that they call you or your wife instead of you. Damn it, I'm doing my job. Stop lumping me in with these other fools.
But we all suffer, and we know we suffer because of it. Listen,
but that don't make it right. But that's the point. That's the point. We normalize it.
You can't even talk to me, Mr. Noise. Just sit back and be quiet. Because listen, when I walk in the store, my deep dark chocolate ass, I know I'm being watched. Your old half high yellow ass, they ain't paying attention to you.
They watch us.
The devil is a lie.
They watch the red bone.
Ron, you've been with me. We've been together when we walked into a Bacon's or a JCPenney's or wherever the store was, and they meet you at the door. How can we help you?
You had Ron with you. Ron, old dog, was with you. You wasn't by yourself.
Even when I'm by myself, I get it. I'm a 6'4", 200 plus pound black man. They following me.
I know.
I know you're gonna give me the button, but I'm just gonna tell you, I was in the beauty supply store, and then I got fussed out in a language I didn't even understand because she thought I was trying to steal something. I said, "What are you talking about?" I pulled money out of my purse and said, "See this money? I'm finna buy it with this money."
I just learned today that I was high yellow as well.
I was just being facetious and clowning, but.
They close the high yellow player.
My point is, we as black men, we do suffer. People do mistrust us good men. I've never been in a fight in my life, but I know that when I go into certain environments, women may clench their purses or fear being on the elevator alone with me. Bitch,
they clench their purses for you?
Well, yeah.
Oops, I apologize.
But because it goes back.
Damn.
Kind of goes back to what we talked about earlier about that's became the norm. The norm is for people to say brothers ain't worth two wood nickels, and that perception of that norm is making people say that number is higher than what it really is because everybody's perception is that they ain't shit. When in actuality, there's a lot more probably great fathers out there, or good fathers, than the bad ones. But the bad ones get the press, and that's what people normalize when they see black men.
I want to even take that a step further, Ron, what you just said, because that was powerful. There's a lot of great black men, period. So you don't have to follow us. You don't have to clench your purse. You don't have to worry about us dogging out your women.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
See, you're part of the problem, nigga.
That's a lie.
You are part of the problem.
Listen, you don't live in South Dallas for a reason. Now you better cut that shit out.
But it ain't just because of bad black men.
Who you talking to?
It ain't just because of bad black men.
Them black girls ain't robbing your ass. Listen, y'all see what Tim said in the chat? Tim, that was
he called you out. I don't know why
he called you out on that. I
don't know why he said it. Tim is rude. That was rude as hell, Tim. Rude as hell.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded.
If you got that old crispy beard, you think you can talk about niggas.
Yeah, that's what's up.
That's rude, Tim. Shame on you.
Lord.
But see, that's why I think this is such a fascinating topic. And by the way, we definitely have to part two this because this is too good. We take the worst elements of ourselves or our society, and we normalize that into something that becomes. I'm gonna shift the topic just slightly, just for a minute, because I think it's relevant. It's the same thing with TV shows. It's the same thing with movies. You know why they don't greenlight a lot of black TV shows? They're starting to now. They're doing better now. But you know why they didn't greenlight a lot of black movies? Because they said it wouldn't translate well across all cultures. You try to tell me a human experience doesn't translate across cultures? That doesn't make sense. But the reason why we say it is because black people are bad and they're thugs and they're this and they're that and they're all of these stereotypical things that we've normalized into the cultural behavior. We even have bought that lie. That's how Love and Hip Hop gets green lighted, and quality TV shows about black people do not.
And take it beyond your music.
The music, well, now, but see, the music feeds into the normality of the stereotype.
And the normality for music is if you're not a sister out there shaking your ass with hardly nothing on.
Oh my God.
And
you might well forget it.
And all them black movies y'all like played into the stereotype too, but y'all still watched them.
The truth of the matter is, cuz you are 1000% correct.
I ain't never watched none of that shit.
Well, because you don't like black people.
Because
like,
you're an oak.
Like Mama NOIZ.
Yeah,
y'all don't like black people like that. But the reality is we have normalized all of our stuff. But I think part of the making of those movies has been to try to understand us, maybe. I think maybe I could be wrong. It could be just to make $1. But
it's only a part of us because most of us aren't necessarily from the street. We may be from the hood, but our parents made sure we was in church too. We weren't necessarily from the street.
Not all of us.
Yeah, you definitely weren't in church, Mama.
You know what?
You know what's funny? I'm sorry. You know what's funny? Y'all remember the show Rock with Charles Dutton? That was probably more realistically accurate to what we really were than most of the shows that were on TV. Because to me, now I know Ryan loved Good Times. Good Times was definitely relatable to a lot of people going up in the projects and that deep hood experience. But a lot of us were probably more rock than we were James Evans.
Well, think about it. Good Times was 1970, 1980. Rock was 1990, 1990s. It's literally you went from Good Times to Rock. Your childhood was Good Times. Your actual life, if you was a good guy, was probably Rock. Because that's what you built yourself into. Middle-aged guy, mediocre job,
lower middle class.
It was the work up until the Rock to me was Michael from Good Times working his way up. That's what Rock came to. Rock was a very good
227. I agree with that, Anthony Bruce.
But you have to understand, Mr. NOIZ, you're from the South.
Ish.
Do you know how many Negroes lived in Gretna Green in Chicago? Do you know how many hoods there were?
No, there were a lot. There were
more black people in the hood in Chicago than the entire population of Little Rock. Yes.
Calm down, black man. I wasn't disagreeing with your ass.
So you can't say that most of us were not in the hood. Most of us were.
That's not what I said. What I said was that the relatability was not as we weren't all relating to Good Times like that. We could relate to Rock just as much as we could relate to Good Times.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, we don't have.
There were a couple of things in Good Times I could not relate.
There were some things I didn't relate to, right? But here's the other part of it. The challenge is they weren't greenlighting a lot of those rock type shows, those lower middle to middle class black people shows. We weren't getting a lot. I can only think of a few. Family Matters was one, and I'm not sure that was relatable because there was such the Urkel character sensationalized it so much that it was hard to even relate to the family dynamic anymore. It was just weird. It was entertaining, but it wasn't relatable anymore.
It was comical.
Right. So so again, all of that plays into it. And again, like you said, Ron, as well, the music as well, man. Our music has shifted so tremendously that now our kids have normalized hypersexuality. It's Man, it's tough, man. What we normalize, we become.
And what we lie about, we ignore, and we allow it to continue to grow.
Yeah, that's true too.
We have to speak to the cancer that exists in our community.
Yeah.
Single parenting is destroying the Black community. We cannot sit back and say most men are raising their kids. That's a goddamn lie.
This guy refuses to give Black men credit.
I still say it's most
credit, and I'm a Black man. I'm doing it. Ron's doing it. You're doing it. That's a lie you just said. That's not true.
And all my friends,
but we can't tell the truth about it though. We gotta tell the truth.
And I can tell the truth is because all my friends all do it.
All my friends do it.
100%.
All my friends do it. I even got a friend that married into a family, and he doing it.
Why don't y'all go to New York City, Brooklyn, New York, Chicago, Illinois,
been there,
South Dallas, Texas.
I'm like you, cuz I've traveled a lot of these places.
You see how many women pushing multiple strollers by themselves with no help.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist,
right?
But I'm saying
it's about the bullshit.
Okay, but you're not being honest about it, because the reality is, while there are those girls that are pushing those strollers, there are some dudes that are pushing those same strollers.
And just because you didn't see Willie Earl pushing that stroller doesn't mean Willie Earl wasn't paying for those kids.
Right.
Doesn't mean Willie Earl wasn't there helping take care of those kids. Willie Earl could have been at work while her ass was going to do what she's got to do with the two kids. So we can't put that perception out there to say that most are not doing it.
Why was Big Mama so necessary?
Because we couldn't afford daycare.
Balanced all the imbalance.
We couldn't afford daycare. That's why.
You couldn't afford daycare, and Big Mama kept all the secrets.
She kept all
the secrets.
Because her daughter needed help.
Big Mama was history.
Why was Big Mama necessary?
Respected Willie Earl.
Huh?
Even if Willie Earl wasn't pulling his weight, she still made sure you respected Willie Earl.
Yeah, that's true. You had to respect your father.
Look at this. Because I know we got to go. We got to get out of here. 7 uncles, only one didn't raise his kids. One. I'm not saying it's not existing. Matter of fact, I tell you what, we're going to pick up the conversation right here in this spot. Right here in this spot. Part 2 on Thursday. Y'all make sure y'all show up. We got to pick it up right there. Oh, hey, we got to cut this out what we do. Y'all remember the 5 is tomorrow? The 5 is gonna be really good tomorrow, y'all, because we gotta talk about all this KD stuff. And I got a take for y'all tomorrow on KD that ain't being talked about on these TV shows. And I think it's the one that we need to talk about more than any of the others. Because there's a real problem there. There's a real problem there that nobody's talking about. So we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. We love y'all, man. God, we gotta go. But this y'all too good. Y'all too good for y'all own good. Cuz and Kyrie and Mama Noise, even though you were racist as hell today, we enjoyed your comments. We really did.
You can't get avocado, but you can get green tomatoes.
Right.
Rotate them out.
Right. All right, y'all. We love y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace. Or Thursday. Peace.